Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Last time we started up the 5.1 story and met Beck-Luke after going through his little fun house, the Grand Cosmos. Oh, that dungeon still gives me a headache every now and then. And hopefully, Beck-Luke has the sufficient knowledge needed to help get the Scions back to the source because they're in trouble. Apparently, if we don't get them back soon enough, they may literally dissolve in front of us as their body and souls lose connection. Alphino, time to get us a welcome guest. We mustn't dally here any longer, Dekumon. If Beck-Luke has heard the truth of our travails in the first, you of all people should be present. Yeah, I should. Yeah, alright, back to the Crystarium we go. See, the Exarch is here giving Beck-Luke the short version of the events while we're waiting for us to show up. Still waiting. Ah, there we are. At least I would hope that's us. Now to see if I can do a proper approximation of Beck-Luke's voice. Well, this might be voiced considering the...
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing, but that you hail from another world as well?
Yep. Technically, we all do.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Probably.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies.
Denser? What do you mean by that?
Save you. Your body is your own.
Yep, and that's why I can walk back and forth freely.
And your soul is the densest of them all.
Oh, that might be the lingering effect of the Light Wardens. Or it might be the fact that Ardbert's taken up residence. Or it might simply, oh, I know why, because we're from the source. 7 times rejoined.
Were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vor-3 and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
Come on. Gotta have some idea. Anything?
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
Interesting.
As for your friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
Of which is to send them safely home?
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change.
For a change. You're keeping something from us, aren't you? There's a reason you were in exile.
I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
Oh, that's easy. I volunteered the twins.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Why are you looking at me? I can't help with this. I still have a body. Let me guess. Now we're going to non-voiced. Alright. Somewhat squeaky, somewhat reserved. You have spun quite a tale. But tell me, Have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? Well, clearly killing the Exarch is off the table, so we need something else. White ALISAIE, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what may happen to their souls within the ALISAIE. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Oh shit. See, this is why we called for expert help. Then, would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes. But the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit of ether removed. Huh. That sounds like a summoning. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. I'm hoping they can suffer that for a short time. Leaving lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters, their ether made stagnant by the light. Why did he snap that? Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why? Do you think you might be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I have seen their condition firsthand. Well, then I would be glad to take you to them, on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It's my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. Well, I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Uranger in creating the requisite ALISAIE. I believe my talents would be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Begluk as necessary? So instead of volunteering the twins, I volunteered myself and the twins. Let us make for Amareng then. Interesting. We can help the afflicted, potentially? Damn, that would be awesome. If we could prevent people from turning into Sin Eaters, that would basically cut off the flow of Sin Eaters. I mean, now that the wardens are gone, they're probably mostly reduced, but still, there's still gotta be some lingering. Oh, the poor kid. So, this is Haldrick, is it? Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a Sin Eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Haldrick was completely unresponsive before, but now... He's kind of moving. He's kind of responding. Then perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the ether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verbert. Then, for far darker purposes. Oh no. Oh. Like to turn people into void sent by sending their etheric balance screaming towards darkness, right? Lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it. But for their sakes, I will break that oath. It is not like to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Well, we'll take what we can get. All right. Literally, oh, he just had it on him. All right. Here, my friend, a little tonic for you. Totten stares blankly at you. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. Lovely. What about number 2? Huh? What is this warmth I feel in my chest? Interesting. Perhaps the first guy was simply too far gone for the tonic to have any actual effect, but those who were still in the early stages, well, this might actually work. At least as a deterrent and a stopgap. Whoa. I feel warm. My legs, they don't feel quite as heavy. Interesting. 3 different patients, 3 different responses. So how do we reconcile that? Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function, in most of the patients at least. The more severely afflicted show no response. As I feared, then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time. But this holds true only for their corporeal ether. The incorporeal ether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended. Which is why those in the later stages of the corruption, like Holdrick, appear unaffected by your tonic. Precisely. So how do we affect that portion of their ether? The boy's soul is too far gone. His mind held together by the finest of threads. There is a chance he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. By the gods, he could wait to find himself an old man. A fine reward for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. No, there must be something we can do. Look, I realize this is not why we petitioned your aid, but do you think it's possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Nor do I think it impossible that in treating them, we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Well, it seems we have a new task and a new goal. To treat those afflicted by the Sin Eaters. But how do we get started with this? Good for the soul. Well, I'm sure there's several things good for the soul we can try. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. That I was once a mage of the Royal Court of Velvet, and that soulcraft was my field of study. Yes? The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. But in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. I was right. He was the reason for Brandon's Warrior of Light quest. Well, rather, I'm guessing Silva took his research, gave it to that jackass court mage, and started the whole void scent plague. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. You mustn't dwell in the past, and now you have a chance to redeem yourself. Exactly. 1, it wasn't really your fault, and 2, now you can make it up to the world. That I do. A comforting thought indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? As the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. Neither of us are going to understand it. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked,
I'll do it.
ALISAIE still feels super protective of the inn.
I admire your spirit. Very well. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic.
I think that one's on me.
If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we will have to do to get the lantern.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you don't mean...
Look, just leave it to me. I'll go bug Feowool, I'll get the lantern, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us.
Seriously, Feowool, king of the pixies.
Fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're about it, seek out the Nemo of Plaini. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs.
Convenient.
Right, let's get this over with, shall we?
Very convenient.
There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it?
Seriously, I'd be better off getting the lantern, but sure, I'll go clay hunting. In all honesty, Feowool is probably gritting his teeth right now that he's not being asked for help.
Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us?
Amarang? I know quite a few people in Yulmore. Or maybe I could bug the dwarves for that. Could ask the miners at Twine. Well, there are the scavengers at Mord Soak. I think the miners would be better. Oh, I'm thinking Calusia. What am I thinking? I said dwarves. I was like, no, I think miners would be best.
Ah, yes. They will be able to point you in the right direction, I am sure. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here.
Magnus, it's been a while, my buddy. Magnus, how you been? I don't remember your voice fully. Dekumon, well, what a coincidence.
You've come at a good time. We just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabatharang. You really have to wreck it.
Sorry. Remember Ranjit? I do. I was a pain in the butt. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Oh, well, that's convenient.
Never mind that Chai news. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting that giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley! But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, jerk. That doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite.
And something tells me Dekumon here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Your finest clay, good man. I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang.
Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it ain't exactly a commodity nowadays. But there must be some lurking somewhere or other, waiting to be dug up.
If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Brand mines to make adobe bricks. The place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. Coyotes. Coyotes, but you know, there's an accent slipping in there. Oh hell, fate literally just spawned on my, well, no it didn't, I just walked through it and... Well, you just volunteered for death, good sir. Fine, I was here just looking for dirt, but no, you had to go and piss me off. 33k crit, wow. That was excessive. Oh, hi. Wasn't expecting one of you guys to actually spawn a coyote. And I have to deal with a rando too, come on. You know what, here. Might as well get my good stuff on. Well, I gotta sit here and play with 2 mobs. Sheesh. The things I do for some of these quests, I swear. You're about to disappear. I wonder if that's an auto crit, because I swear that crits every time. Or maybe that was just a direct hit, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the last piece of clay I need.
The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament, but no. You have the clay, I take it?
I do indeed. 3 chunks of it hopefully is sufficient.
Wonderful. We need what combines the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of setting upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beglug, I have a question. In the event we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Ulrich and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there is a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect, and you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say they are so few than all of Norvrand, more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Dekumon?
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's the best woman for the job. Very few, but if what should go awry, I'll see what I can do. No, I will sing ALISAIE's praises for this one.
I'll give it my all. For Holdrick. For Tesleen.
Aw, don't bring up Tesleen. My eyes are still watering.
Then we are all of a mind on the matter. ALISAIE shall be the one to conjure the familiar.
Good. And what shape will this familiar be? Oh, this is definitely voiced.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy.
A porksy?
Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
Oh, the flying pig things. Her face was like,
Porksy. I think I know what you mean.
oh dear. Does ALISAIE have any real skill in sculpture? Or is this going to turn out into a comedy? Oh no. This is going to be atrocious,
There we
isn't
are.
it?
How's that?
Oh my god. Nope.
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Oh dear. I'm just gonna back away
Yes,
slowly
I'm no
now.
artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
Did you just insult me?
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality.
Yeah, if it comes out looking like that, we're all gonna die laughing.
Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye.
Alright. I'm gonna have to go get more clay after this, aren't I?
Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
Come on. Let's see it work.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Come on, let's see some pork. Oh my god, it's adorable. I want one.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric.
Right, the actual reason we're here. Not to laugh at ALISAIE's art skills. Alright, finally got him on his feet.
Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
I shall name thee Porkachu. I don't know, maybe that's too on the nose. Hamlet? Babe?
A name.
I swear to God if she calls it Tesslane.
All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angelo!
Angelo? Alright. Let's see the power of the pig. Come on. He's moving. I think that's the most he's ever done. There's a little life in the old kid yet. Come on. He's awake.
Mother,
Oh God. Oh, he must have lost his parents to the eaters, didn't he? Ah, shit. Well, it worked for a few seconds. He's still in there. Dang it.
How is he, Begluk? Did it work?
It looked like it worked, but it also looked like it stopped working.
I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul.
Oh, it did work. Good. But
Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Ulrich. As you are even now in the process of discovering this magic as much of the Invoker, what you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation.
which is exactly what we need to put the Scion souls to sleep, stick them in the ore site, shove them in my back pocket, and boom, they're at the source.
Thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Begluk said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like the same with the tempered back in the source?
Oh, she's thinking of the little kobold kid, isn't she?
Oh. Not really. It is the fate of the most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the souls who could desperately use such treatment.
Gabu, exactly. I'm not sure I follow. Do you really think it could work? Yeah. Gabu. That adorable little kobold kid who summoned Titan.
Exactly. His condition is uncannily similar to Holdrick's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we could save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gabu fellow of whom you speak?
I'll give you the short version, but it's Kobold Kid.
I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown, even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience.
Yeah, the patience for me to get these videos out.
Of course, and as long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. But I refuse to spend time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium and Beck-Luke and see if you can't make some headway with their newly positioned theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not going to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium then.
Let's. Oh? No nod? Finally, I found you. Eh? Oh! Kaishir, what the heck are you doing here? As Alphino says.
Kaishir, what are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back in Yulmore. Lady Chai's beside herself. Sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Dear enough begged me to go and find you.
Eh?
Sighing and pacing, you say? Oh, it must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have anything for you to do.
Well, that's good.
Thank you, Beck-Luke.
So what's Miss Chai got herself tied up in knots over?
Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Yulmore's at stake.
Ah, crud. What's the matter? Is it election day or something? I figured Kaishir would be the one I'd have to talk to for this quest. Nowhere to turn.
Lady Chai's up in the parlor. Best not keep her waiting, eh?
I'll get there soon enough. Just gotta push the old return button and I'll be up there shortly.
Well, not here seems out of the ordinary, though I don't see Lady Chai anywhere.
Where is she?
Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that, sighing.
Oh dear.
How strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress.
Where is she? She is over here. Alright. Lady, it's pouring rain out. What are you doing? This is definitely not voiced.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Okay, well, I was wrong.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Oh, for Christ's sake, just tell us. Stop beating around the bush and tell us.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
Oh no. Did you two have a falling out? Did you
What?
squish him?
What happened?
Did you eat him?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
Oh my god. I was kidding about the election thing. Do not tell me that's what this is all about.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent.
Yeah.
Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility.
So petition the Crystarium, or get one of the indentured who actually knows what the hell they're doing, and elevate them. It's not that difficult.
Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Ah. Thrust into responsibility yet again. And let me guess, he panicked and ran.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice.
Except the dude's really self-depreciating.
Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced.
Oh yeah, he definitely cut and ran.
But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
Great. So now we gotta go look for him. Question is where?
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee. Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
That's true. He could actually be taking a proactive stance and traveling the countryside, looking for people to help out. Just forgot to tell anybody.
You truly think so?
No, I think he freaked out and ran.
What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
Oh dear. I don't know. Whatever it is, he won't have fled. Sorry, but I think he's fled. Now, I might think it myself, but I'm pretty sure the Warrior of Light would not be so callous.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Don't worry. I'm the dependable one of the three of us, remember? There we go.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
All right, so now that she's gone, where do we think he ran away to? No, in all likelihood, I think he actually is out trying to gather some support. But it's funnier to think he cut and ran, to be honest. Is there gonna be someone to... There you two are. I see we're having some lag issues tonight. A notable absence.
It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or, failing that, if they have any idea where he might have gone. I'll meet you here at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on.
Alright, questioning the locals time. Everyone's favorite. Miss Moen?
Master Chai? Why yes, I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about your most neglected industry, you see. With Lord Volthry's apparent inexhaustible store of meal, and no great need for money, it's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. But I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendors would do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Yulmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after.
Your exchange has taught you about the stagnant state of business in Yulmore. Yeah, I was right. He is legit going out and about trying to drum up some business, and I'm guessing everyone else is on the lower levels. Looking for Master Chai, are you? There's something amiss. When last I saw him, he seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted he rest and catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concern over the city's defenses, amongst other things. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Volthury, and finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. Yeah, I'm not apologizing for that one. The dude was a fanatic. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, with funding permitting, I proposed replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts and Gate Town. We do have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Calusia as well, and I for one would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for the cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. Ah! Okay. So, I was right, he left the city. And went where? Ah, I see I'm racing the same person. Oh, I remember you, you're the old guy. Here, I'm gonna stand on your table, man. Guy, I recall a fan fitting that description. Asked to speak with the poor buggers come lately from right. Said he wanted to know the state of things down here in the derelicts. We could be sure where we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there's plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge. It's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't want to just survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Yeah, fair play here to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed about the derelicts. He asked about the other settlements at all. After that, can't really say. Looked like he was headed for Gate Town when I last saw him. The poor living conditions of Calusia's downtrodden. Oh, there's definitely plenty of that. Huh. Well, well, well. Didn't run after all. I have to give him credit for that. Sounds like he's literally doing his job, unlike Volthury.
Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts?
Yeah, quite a few, actually. He's been busy.
Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Sounds like he's got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps, but the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city?
Gate Town, from the sounds of it. For the people.
All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical again that having consulted those within the city walls, he would wish to do the same to those without. Dekumon, if you would go and make inquiries and write, I shall do likewise in Stilltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishia. Fair enough. Where should we meet when we've finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to be the next most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then, but if not, we will be well situated to continue our search.
Top Rung. There's the man I'm looking for. No, the name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Misto gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, and rather the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of meal and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Volthury thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. I needn't tell you what happened when the Sinitas came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Volthury's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend, Chai News, was it? And I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after. And that was that. So he was here at the very least. And that means he probably did head for Tomra next.
So, he paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he?
Yepper.
I see. Kaishia and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Calusia, the only likely place he has left to go being Amity.
Really? I thought Tomra, but sure, Amity works too.
Come, If we're quick, we may yet catch up with him.
Well, I'm as quick as can be on a flying chocobo. There you are, finally. Dude, I have been looking everywhere for you. Dekumon, Alphino, Kaishia, what are you doing here?
We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you.
Looking for me? Whatever for?
Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word, and bade us return you to her side.
What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. And when she gets an idea in her head, oh dear, I can only apologize. Of course it's been an overreaction this whole time.
No harm done, Master Chai. But since we're here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? You were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we had gathered from the nearby villages, you have been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office?
Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced with the people of Calusia, that much is true, but I am no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources. Until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor.
I see. And you believe said resources can be found here?
Indeed. The people's grievances are many, and in the course of my inquiries I've already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. Let me guess, the artist.
With respect, such forethought is, in itself, proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Chai, and I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it is worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing.
Whatever you need, you can count on us. We believe in you, Master Chai. Yeah, nah. Whatever you need, you can count on the Scions / Warriors of Darkness. Guy, I don't know what to say. Oh god, I've got a tear in my eye.
Now you don't need to say anything. You've got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I ever wanted was to make it into Yulmore. But that dream's gone now. Burst like a bubble. Or a boil, more like.
Yeah, no kidding.
Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't a clue what to do with myself. Spent most of my days in a daze. But you've been running up and down, trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You've got this lot of gold, didn't you? How hard can mayoring be? You're going to steal Yulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is.
God, you give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Sounds good.
Thank you, Master Chai.
But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I'm here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive.
Who is this man exactly, and are you certain he's here in Amity?
Rendon is his name, and yes, he is, or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Volthry's father when he was in office. I can imagine the hell this poor soul has been through. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Rendon was the left, and between them, they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him.
But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand.
Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Tristal then. As I recall, you made a rather favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Not a bad call. Actually, this is probably a good spot to stop right now. We've only got 3 more quests after this, and I want to try and get a full episode out of that. So, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more adventures in Noveront. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.